Hello teacups, what's brewing? Pleasure to see you again. Today we have Chantal's live sleep. I've got it edited down to between 9 and 10 minutes. So what I'll probably do is talk about the things I've got clipped here, and then I'll do like a quick recap of what happened in the rest, but most of them talking points we've either discussed before or were not really that important. So this is what we're going to be up to. Also, if we have any technical issues, I do apologize. I do have a new camera or a new phone, and I'm not used to the settings. So not sure how this is going to go, but we're going to give it a try. All right, guys, let's get started.
And some cheese strings, thanks to Amna. You thought I was just gonna eat the sauce out of the jar?
I love how she says that like it's the strangest thing she's ever eaten in that room. She was sitting there drinking pickle juice before. I'm glad it's not the case. But yeah, having an open jar of marinara next to you in your bedroom seems a bit weird.
Ew. Actually, the sauce is not that good. But this will actually kill your craving for like muffin sticks.
That reminds me, I'm so sorry, I didn't start this correctly. Before she posted this, she did have a community post. If I've still got the screenshot, I will put it up somewhere. But essentially saying that there was a new health journey on the horizon, that she had gotten off track in a terrible way, and she's still on for Eurobees, and welcome to the new healthy future of her channel. Sorry, I should have mentioned that in the beginning, in the intro to this. So she is currently theoretically in the throes of the beginning of a new cycle, in the sense of she now wants potentially a health journey, because I imagine it would be distracting from the non-health journey she's currently on. We'll see what happens, shall we? I will say, cynic that I am, I'm not hopeful.
I know my nose is running. It's just regular boogers, people. I'm so self-conscious I have to watch everything I do now.
You just have to be so careful these days. You show evidence of doing coke and admit to lying about it online just a few times. A few times I did that, and now just everything is under scrutiny.
Because you guys, you're all forgiven.
Yeah, it's our fault.
I did miss you guys, so I know this is a late night live stream, but as you probably guessed, I'm still doing the videos.
I did not guess that. That was not my guess. I would not have guessed videos, because it's been how long? Is it 4 months? Are we on 4 months now? I feel like it's been a while.
You look great and energized. I don't feel it. I'm very tired. Maybe that's why I'm so energetic. Energetic is because, well, I always talk a lot. Like, I always have energy to talk.
That is a lie, but this is word salad, and I'm going to let her finish it.
I'm like sleep deprived, I think, to the point of being delirious. It's like when you don't do anything, you don't get tired. So it's like a vicious cycle. And I'm like, I want to be productive, but I haven't done anything to tire me out so that I can be. Oh, I'm so...
That piece of... Oh, I don't even know what to call it. That piece of conversation she just had with us. That made no sense to me. She seemed to be just contradicting herself word by word, where she was like, if you don't do anything, you don't get tired, but I've done nothing to tire me out. And I'm hyper. I look hyper, but I'm very tired. But actually, no, I'm just so tired, I'm now energized again. Madam, are you okay? What she just said did not make sense. I listened to it a few times. I clipped it, and I was like, I don't think she knows what she's saying at this point. That did not work.
Sorry to be gross, guys.
Sorry to be gross.
Things a little more health conscious. We can't be good all the time.
Oh, that's going on a gravestone. We can't be good all the time. Just let a girl sit here and eat a pack of string cheese.
Hi, Kaylee. It was okay. Not very eventful, but what about you guys? Did you have a good weekend? I listened to The Weekend on the weekend. I was posting The Weekend on Snapchat.
Yeah, you were.
All for a drive.
Yeah, and that's all she says about it. That is the sum total of the addressing of the Snapchat, despite the fact that she was dressed up to the nines, had all her makeup on, had a heart necklace, appeared to be going somewhere, appeared to be engaging in the pattern of behavior we have seen when she goes somewhere. And she went for a drive. Now, whether that's to Dom's house or whether that's to Montreal, we don't know. She mentions in a part that I didn't clip briefly later, generations later in this live, that she was, oh, I've just realized the freeze frame is terrible. Sorry. But she mentions Montreal as a potential place to move. She doesn't think about it that much, but maybe Montreal is on the brain. But yeah, when she's like, oh no, it was uneventful, I didn't do a thing. And she kind of states again, and she, that the implication that her and Dom are not together, despite the fact that they seem to be spending time together, there's a lot going on with it.
3:30 in the morning and I'm awake, eating dill Triscuits and cheese strings and Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
I get motivated for a whole fucking day.
When?
Maybe a week.
When? Huh, I call bullshit. No. Since the beginning of my channel, I want to say my very first react, but in the beginning of my channel, what I said was, I just want to see her go a week. Do you remember when food was the worst problem we saw showcased on this channel? I was like, I just want to see her complete a week. Like, do a week of a consistent program and do a weigh-in and see what happens. And to date, over a year later, she has not made it to that week mark, because that is the benchmark I have always set for her, and she's never made it.
Now tomorrow we're gonna be good.
Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow.
We're not being bad right now, we're just beezing.
Yeah, just beezing. We can excuse everything. I will say the snack is getting away from her a little bit. I don't have it with me. 1 second, I might have to take the thing down so you're not seeing everything. We have no idea how many, are they called Triscuits? She eats. I did look it up because I'm that bitch. How long has it been since we've done a calorie count? Come on now, it's been a while. But it's 120 calories per 6 crackers. I'm feeling 3 servings, like that's kind of where my heart is. I'm assuming 3 servings for what she ate on camera, but I don't know because I haven't counted. So that's 360 calories. Cheese strings, she admits later to having eaten 5 of them. So at an average of about 80 calories each, that's 400 calories. I've just put a token 50 calories for the marinara. She's just dipping it in. It's meant to be pasta sauce. It's not going to be that bad. And a full sugar Sprite of 140 calories. So for a quick, what she considers healthy snack, is it better than the literal thousands spent on takeout food? Yes, technically, but is it a healthy snack? No, I don't think so. And these are all excellent examples of why we always tell her to go see a professional, but because she always knows better than the professional, she never follows the plan she's given.
I'm super sober.
Oh, super.
Actually, even edibles, like the only thing, I don't have any edibles. The only thing I had, a vape pen.
Okay, so that's not fucking sober then, is it? Excuse me. I realize I sound quite angry. Guys, when I say I cut some literal shit out of this, oh, she went on and she went on and she went on, and I haven't really had much patience for her since the whole abuse but not abuse conversation, and no, I was done. Being on a drug is not the same as being clean. She has a disconnect in her head which is like, this is legal and therefore I am not on drugs. Like, no, that's legal, but that's still a drug. And whether it's legal is of question given what we've said about the licensing and the strength and blah, blah, blah. And she mentions other drugs later that she does happen to have. They're just not edibles. Why is she thinking this is the same as sober? I don't know.
A little bit. Oh no, I'm sober. I've gained weight, that's for sure.
Okay. She seems to be taking like, oh, I'm gaining weight, so here's proof. But this is amazingly like the most alert we've seen her on a live stream. And it just left me suspicious, because if she is taking her vape pen, which she does, and she's not slurring out, which she also does when she goes on to weed, then I want to know what else she's on. She shows her pupils later and they don't appear enlarged. So just the way she's making a point of pointing it out makes me feel like, again, I've got no basis, feel like she's on something else that maybe is not coke, that is getting her what she needs, because she seems too happy to prove it, if that makes sense. Now, this could just be me reading way too much into things, but something about this and how she's addressing it feels off. Not that anything feels particularly right with her at any point, but I'm telling you something.
Stop freaking eating. Oops. Savage keyboard! I'm just weird. I mean, I've always been weird.
And that's the narrative she would like. You'd be like, you know, I'm a weird, quirky girl, you guys. I'm naturally bubbly. If you think of the times, the before times, when she didn't used to come onto stream high, she's never shown really that as a consistent part of her personality. Not really, not when she's all, together within herself and not under the influence of something else. We don't see a lot of that from her. So this constant idea that she tries to push of, no, I'm just like this naturally, to try and make it harder to tell when she's under the influence of something, just really highlights when she's under the influence of something.
I don't even crave it right now, at all. It's been a little while since I have.
And like I said, she likes technical truths. Technically, I haven't been on this drug you're accusing me of. She's like, I haven't been on it for a while. We saw the fact she went away this weekend, she disappeared for a couple of days, and we had a conversation in a recent I don't know which one it was, when we said, she was saying how, I'm eating again in kind of, I can't remember the word she used, but in compensation, I'm catching up. She said, I'm catching up. Took me a minute then, sorry. And I was like, catching up from what? Did you have a period when you weren't eating? Why weren't you eating? And so I suspect she's been on drugs recently. I know, amazing, I know, out of left field. But she seems a little bit, gleeful isn't quite the word, but a little bit smug, maybe. Just to be like, no, look, oh, pupils, look. And that attitude kind of prevails. Just, someone used the phrase, duper's delight in my comments at some point. I don't know if that's a technical phrase from people who do lie or manipulate and things like that, or if it's just something they came up with, but it feels like she's enjoying pointing out that her symptoms don't match up, and I feel like something's going on.
I think it was more like I said, the whole party package deal, like the whole escaping and partying and having fun. I'm hyper and you're gonna get it.
Yeah, naturally I'm hyper and you're gonna get it.
I'm naturally hyper right now.
She actually said it. I should have shut up.
I'm starting to feel a bit better. I was so depressed. I still am, sort of, but...
Okay, so what's caused you to come out of your depression right now? Not that people don't, it's a cycle, but usually something changes and you just magically went for a drive and you've, made up, quite well presented, quite happy about it, looking forward to something, and now you've come back and you've recovered from your deep depression, or more or less. So you want to maybe talk about something you did over the weekend? Maybe. I feel like something's going on.
You're a mess. So how you can't even complete a sentence before you start a new one.
People made a big deal of this clip online. It's the only reason I left it in. Guys, she's clearly trolling. She read what was said and just made fun of it by pretending to tick in the moment.
Huh. I'm really not. If I was, I would not be eating. Okay, maybe on edibles, but I don't have any edibles. No.
But you're on weed. You're doing the vape. We have seen her on munchies after she has smoked.
I'm joking. I know in my boogers, I have white stuff. That doesn't help my case. It's a piece of Triscuit, and my nose keeps running. I know. It's gross. Yeah. Where's my reactant, actually?
Magically, her allergies seem to have returned. You know how when she goes away for a few days and she comes back and her allergies are back? No, it's not related at all. So she disappeared for 2 days offline? She's come back and her allergies are really bad again. Okay.
I think I'm gonna set up my room more for live streams, because I want to plan the live streams. I don't want just I don't
That'd
want
be
to,
lovely.
but if I
Of
want
course
to
you
have a
don't.
successful channel, I gotta give it a shot, right?
I mean, it would be nice if you want to have a successful channel, yes. There's a lot of things you could be doing if you want to have a successful channel, quite frankly. I am wondering that, like, I'd love some more effort. I'm not even complaining about it, but when she says set up her room more, in what way? What is she going to add to her room? Could she bring the green screen up? Maybe, but even if she did, the angle of where she is with the door, she couldn't set it up in that room. It would completely fill the place. So I'm not entirely sure what she thinks she could set up there to make better videos. I'd love it if she did something, but I'm not quite sure.
Right? My channel's plenty successful. It's not plenty successful, but it is. It's.
She seems to not want to say it's successful here, but it is. Like, she makes enough money to live a fairly easy, normal life. Not that she's been doing that right now. She's been spending like water. But under usual circumstances, she can maintain a huge amount of takeout, a nice apartment. Like, that is successful. She can make her living on YouTube. Now, is her channel going to remain successful? That's something we could question, certainly, given the current content. But again, I can't tell if this is the flush of, look, we're going to start, we're going to be healthy, we're going to be great on the internet, we're going to change all the things, we're going to live a wonderful life. But I'm not sure what changes she thinks she's going to make to the area that's going to improve the content, because the problem isn't the area, it's the content.
Weigh in tomorrow. I just want to get to a point in my life where I'm not like, don't abuse anything. Don't abuse cheese.
It's really sad that I genuinely can't imagine that for her. I want her to get there, but the only way she's gonna get there in any version of any universe, the only way she's gonna get to that point is with some kind of therapy, whatever kind it takes on. Because if she had the tools to do that herself, she's 37, she would have used them. She doesn't have those tools, and I'm not blaming her for that. Like, she needs to learn them. She needs help learning them, and that is absolutely fine. That's what therapists are for. But I can't imagine any version of events where she would be able to do this alone. And the one thing she'll refuse to do is therapy. So it's really sad, but I don't see it happening.
By the way, I have a life lesson for you.
Oh, enlighten me.
Listen up.
Go on.
I know why I gained weight. The lasagna. The late night spaghetti and meatball obsession.
I don't imagine it helped.
No sex. No stuff.
Well, no stuff more than anything. She puts a lot of emphasis on how much the sex did for her. The sex gave her a mental boost, certainly, an ego boost, definitely. But in terms of the physical activity, honey, I hate to break this to you, but it was the Coke.
So we have to find healthy habits. Healthy ways.
That'd be nice.
That don't require a lot of exertion.
That's not really how that works.
Like a lot of effort. I know it sounds bad, but you have to start that way. I'm telling you, you have to trick yourself and say, I'm not doing anything.
It doesn't sound bad. It seems supremely unrealistic. There are certain things you can do. The first day I went back to the gym, I was like, okay, we're going to ease into this. I think there's something to be said for easing into it, even with her health being ridiculous right now. But to say, okay, you don't have a choice about going to the gym, but if you go and you do 10 minutes, then you went. Yeah, I think there is, to an extent, a flexibility there. But the idea that you're going to make the kind of drastic life changes that she would have to make to achieve the things she wants to achieve, because the key word there is drastic. She needs drastic changes. And you can't do that without trying. You can't do that without thinking. And she doesn't like to do either of those things.
But really, even just doing the smallest thing is doing something.
Oh, well, that seems like a really good way to excuse not trying very hard.
I'm so hyper. I wasn't. Just when I came live and started talking to you guys, I got hyper. I miss you guys.
Yeah.
Who else is going to listen to me? Nobody. Think anyone wants to hear me talk? You guys are suckers.
I mean, some days, but you know, she missed you suckers.
I want to order out. I have some groceries. I'm sick of ordering out. Fuck. Like, I piss my money away.
She really does. But guys, the fact that she's sitting there with string cheese, even if it's not the healthy choice she thinks it is, I know I say this a lot, but how bad has her money got that she's actually sitting there even pretending to do a thing?
Honestly, I would say, I don't even want to say how many thousands of dollars on food.
She wouldn't be able to because she doesn't keep track of these things. And that, again, in terms of easing into better habits, keeping actual notation on what you spend and what you spend it on, so you know where your budget is right now, would be the first step into that. And she said years ago, she said 1,000. Recently, she said like 3,000. But she doesn't know for sure, but she knows how much she earns, and I imagine it's a big old chunk of it.
A month. I'm just guessing. Fully powdered hair? Oh, pupil check.
She's so happy to show us, guys. Pupil check. People know it's definitely not that. Oh, do you want to know? Do you? No, I'm sober, as she smokes.
Yeah, they're small. I'm just saying. No, this isn't lingerie. It's because this is a bra, but this is a see-through tank top and underwear. I don't like wearing clothes on here.
We do know this. We have found this out to our own detriment, but we have found that out from the amount of time she's flashed us. But tell me why she needed to explain that to us. If she doesn't move, we don't need to know she's not wearing bottoms. You know, we don't need to know that. Just, madam, you may not like to wear clothes while you're here in your bedroom, but you're on the internet. And it's an actual place that you're exposing yourself on.
Yeah. So I weighed myself, I think 2 days ago. I was 349.
That's quite a jump from the last one. So last time she said 338, I think, and she was a bit concerned about it. And I was confused because not that long ago she had a car live and she mentioned 348. And then I was like, well, did I just mishear? Did she mean 338? And then she lost 10 pounds, which seems surprising, but I can't remember exactly where in the timeline it was, so she could have still been using at that point as well. I said still been using like she stopped, but you know. So I was a little bit confused, but now back up to 349. It doesn't surprise me just with the amount of takeout she's been having. If we go with the old classic of, oh, I'm swollen, even if that were the thing, she's been having a lot of sodium, she's been having a lot of cheese, she's been having a lot of pasta. Like, she must feel so uncomfortable right now.
That's a lot of weight in like a few days. I haven't checked my sugar.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's easy to gain it back if you're not. That's the thing,
It
guys.
is.
Starving doesn't work. Unless you keep starving, which is not a...
When did she ever starve? Like, she had times when she didn't eat very much because of the drugs, but she wasn't starving.
advisable. Now, fasting is a bit different, which I was doing.
Okay. Guys, something that probably inappropriately enraged me about this kind of next segment. Can I just lodge how much I hate the fact that she calls what she was doing with the drugs fasting? She wasn't eating because she was on drugs. She was losing more weight because of the chemical interactions of the drugs with her system and how it doesn't allow you to absorb fat and a lot of other chemical things. Recasting this as I was fasting gives it a legitimacy that it does not deserve. Please stop referring to this as fasting like you made some kind of health choice. Sorry if I was shaking my camera then. I'm doing this and my elbow's on the table. But it's not. You were not making a diet choice, you were taking cocaine.
But I'm just back to eating. I liked how I felt on the fasting, but
Cocaine.
I don't like the hunger. Like the hunger, I can't stand it. So for me, when the Ozempic was working and
The cocaine.
I was beezing, you know what I mean?
I was beezing. Oh no, but mainly Ozempic, guys. 50 pounds Ozempic for sure, not the cocaine.
And I wasn't having an appetite. I really liked that, but like now, I don't know. It's just, you know what I mean?
And that's all she said. She's like, you know what I mean? And this is another reason why she is absolutely primed for staying on drugs. because she likes the effect of it too much to care that hard about the physical side effects. She is more concerned with what it can do for her weight than anything else it might do to her body. There isn't a regret here on the impact it had on her. Financially maybe, but not the physical impact.
No, I'm not on Ozempic right now.
Yeah.
I gotta talk. I need to get like a full exam and everything, and
Oh, what a thought.
talk to my doctor about getting back on my medication. I just don't want to just like restart everything. I've been off of it long enough.
That's
And I gotta talk to my doctor and be honest about like just the really like damaging lifestyle thing.
Take that in for a second. She has been off. I mean, she said she's taking her antidepressant. She said she picked up her prescription. So I'm not sure why she's doing that if she's been off her meds. But she's been off, I would guess, most of her meds. She has a puffer because she's been smoking and it's been getting worse. So maybe that's the prescription. But she's been off them, and she's been off them long enough that she can't just go back on them without talking to a doctor. Think of the amount of things that are wrong with her right now, and the impact, the chaos that must be having on her system, the danger she's unnecessarily putting herself into just by being non-compliant with her medication, not even with the illegal drugs interacting. It's crazy to me.
Things I've been doing.
And the doctor has no idea. Like, this is also something I don't get, but I guess the doctor would have no reason to look at her record until Chantal contacts her, in which case then she'd take a look. So I'm guessing if Chantal went to the emergency room, though, that would then be noted on her medical file in some form, so the doctor could go read up on that. Maybe that's why she's been avoiding, not just not wanting the conversation, but once the doctor knows, it becomes a thing she has to deal with kind of day to day, and another person to check in on her, which she doesn't want. But she can't avoid that conversation forever because there's a lot of medication she was on pre-drugs that she really, really needs.
But not as of late though, so, but I did.
What does she mean of as of late? Because we're looking at maybe a week, although I suppose, given what I just said about her never making it to a week, that is the ancient past at this point.
Some people were saying, well, when he fucks big bitches, you know, a double bed. Because, Joe, hi! By the time I was like not sleeping there, the bed was dipping because of my.
I only left this in to illustrate that she's still on the storyline that her and Dom are not an item, which might be the case given the depression, but given the last weekend and how much happier she seems, either she's found another source or she spent the weekend with Dom. But she's still, sorry for the story I then let you hear, she's still maintaining that, oh, you know, when we were together, not we're together now.
Like it's, you know, like a double bed is small. I'm in my own discotheque. I know, I can't stop singing the weekend. I think it's an actual condition. Like, what could we call it?
Idiocy.
We have to put it in the Urban Dictionary. Weekenditis! Yes! I love it. I love it. Weekenditis. So I have a bit of weekenditis where I can't stop singing the weekend. I don't know what to say. It's caused me to lose subs. It's
That's not what's causing you to lose
It's
income.
interfering with my sleep. And what's the cure for it? Sex with Abel.
The cure for it is planning some kind of content so you don't have to fill the myriad of dead air you have with random song lyrics to try and distract from the fact that you've got nothing to say. But admittedly, the chance of her doing that is about as likely as her having sex with Abel at this point.
Right now, bitch. How's your healthy lifestyle going?
Oh, well.
Well, it would appear that it's not going too well.
It would appear that way.
But
But,
I assure you, it's not bad.
oh, well, that would be another example of a lie, wouldn't it?
Damn it, Molly, that's so cool. I'm so glad you enjoyed my review.
This is now skipped forward some time. It was a 3-hour live. I think this is the final hour at some point. I spared you a number of conversations about reality TV and her arse being full of shit. Congratulations, you're welcome.
Oh my god, guys, it's gonna be that time of year. It's August, so September, October. October, we are gonna do the Halloween haunts again.
I thought she was going to say Vlogtober, and I was like, you didn't even do Vlogtober when it was Vlogtober last time and you were doing vlogs. She did Muktober, and then she did go to a couple of places, but to be honest, guys, I say that as I call her out. I would take it. I would take it. She said she said the drives, which makes me think she'd just do it live because she put the camera on, so still no pre-recorded. But man, what I would give for her to actually do like a Vlogtober thing and it'd be vlogs. I miss videos so much.
One of my biggest bullies is demonetized. Well, don't say that, then they're gonna want me demonetized. How about nobody? Which bully?
I had to go look this up because I didn't know what was going on, because the only reactor, we'll use the word bully, shall we? The only reactor I've seen her talk about recently has been French Fry Girl, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I would have seen it on Twitter if she'd been demonetized. I did a search and I found Miss Hussey has set up like a thing, a GoFundMe for his rent, because apparently his channel's been demonetized. So that's happened. That's a thing that's going on. I had no idea until this point.
What I went through recently with Dom and like having all those feelings and everything, it just drained me so emotionally that I'm not interested in going through that again with anybody. Like, I don't want to go through it with anybody else.
I left that because that was a weird ending, because theoretically it's saying, okay, whatever happened, which she's still baiting, and it still angers me because she won't explain it, in which case don't talk about it. And if it is a case of abuse, there's no obligation to talk about it, but if it's a case of baiting abuse to get people to ask, that pisses me off. But the way she was like, I don't want to go through it with anyone else, didn't sound definitive in the fact that I never want this to happen again, whatever this emotional thing was. More, I don't want to move on to someone else, but she may tolerate it from him, which would be on par with her behavior. So I didn't like it.
I've been trying to keep my life, especially my love life, or lack of love life, everything like that private. Like,
1, bitch when. 2, lack of love life. I mean, I don't think there's any love between them, but to pretend you haven't spent the weekend out of your house, you have no other reason for doing that.
Because, like, I don't like lying to people.
You don't care morally about lying to your audience at all. You care about the effort it takes to maintain it.
And at the same time, well, I don't feel like I'm lying. I'm just...
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? I can't fill in this sentence because I can't explain myself, because it sounds worse and worse the more I think about it, but do you know what I mean? She does so many frustrating things in this live stream. I was like, I gotta cut it down, you guys. But you know what I mean? Just, if you're not talking about it, here's a hint. Don't talk about it. Why are we having this conversation if you're not talking about it? You want to keep it offline? You start by keeping it offline.
In a way, focusing on my health journey and stuff like that will help me keep some of my life private.
Will help me distract people when I don't keep parts of my life private.
In a lot of ways. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
No, abuse is not okay, Vance Beezer, at all, ever.
And I left it there because that was the point, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Abuse is not okay ever, so let me just bait it a little bit more. Oh, emotionally drained. Oh, no, it's not okay ever. It's not okay ever. But it's also not okay for you to use it in the way you're using it right now. So to sit there just agreeing, be like, no, it's not okay, as if you're not manipulating this situation, is ridiculous. In terms of other things that happened in this live, there wasn't really much in terms of talking points that was new. I know that's a shock. At some point, Pete did come in and be like, go to bed, it's morning, which I thought was quite funny because it was already 6 a.m. and he was going to bed. And I imagine, given that he didn't knock to come in, I don't think, that she's had the door open and has been quite loud this whole time. So I was happy that he at least came in and was like, would you shut the fuck up? Which is how I read what he said, which was fantastic. She goes back a couple of times into the idea of her wanting to be healthier. I'd love to see it, but I'll believe it when I see it. She said she was vitamin deficient at some point, including B12, which B12 deficiency will fuck you up, man. It's one of the ones they're most worried about post-surgery. And again, as with all her health things here today, god damn, she needs to take better care of herself and adult more. Speaking of adulting, she tried a couple of times to reconcile herself to the idea of doing laundry and then gave up on it because she couldn't do it. She sat with her makeup for a little while and tried some things on and then didn't have makeup wipes to take it off, so one assumes she's sleeping in it. That brought up some ideas of hygiene. She was talking about her teeth and how she brushes them once a day, every day, but she did admit recently that she doesn't. And then it became, as it always does with her, an issue of, well, everyone is dirty, you guys. Everyone is dirty. Everybody does this, because the personal ramifications and responsibilities of brushing your teeth are clearly a humanity-wide issue. Even this tiny, ridiculous thing, she can't take personal responsibility for. That is the level we're at. Nobody brushes their teeth all the time. Are we fucking kidding with this? Come on now. I don't think there was much else. Oh, she was like, what can we eat? I want a beef stew. It was 6 a.m. Oh. Aside from that, not much else. Like a lot of gross stories, if you really want them, they're there. But other than that, we are done and I'm going to leave you here. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.